Hello. I wanted to find some way I could use swords in my journals, but I wanted it to have a purpose, some sort of usefulness, and I think I've hit upon it. Ba-ba-da-da, my sword closure, yay! I haven't seen this in any YouTube videos or in anyone's journals yet, so maybe this will be as new to you as it is to me. It's pretty easy. It doesn't have to be a sword, I don't think. I think a coffee stir would work. Chipboard, bookboard, anything that's sturdy and narrow could work for this. You can use it for folio to hold your stuff. You could use it for a notebook, or just, because it's fun and cool. Just have a secret letter. And it's very, very easy. And I thought I would walk you through it. So it doesn't matter what size piece of paper you have. And you don't need a hole punch. You can tear it like I did in this one. I'm going to use a hole punch just for simplicity's sake. You don't need a scoreboard. Again, I'm using it just to keep things a little bit swifter. So I have a longish piece of paper. I'm just going to pick a couple of places to score it. Now the main thing you want to keep in mind is that the overlap needs to be larger than whatever hole you're going to use, so that it has a solid base underneath. So let's see what that gives us. Okay, so if we do that, all right, I'm going to score here. Which way am I doing it? Clearly you don't need to put too much care into this, deciding where you want to fold your paper. So here you go. So the large hole is going to be on the top part. My hole punches never tell me what size they are. I think this is an inch. So let's see, this is 4 1/4, so 2 1/8. It's roughly center. I'm going to eyeball this. So you can see that the bottom layer doesn't come all the way up. So I want to keep my hole somewhere down here so that the underlayer fills the circle completely. There, see, it's not, that would be no good. This is good. So now we want to decide which way our weapon of choice is going to go. That could be neat. I think I will try and go this way. So here is a part where you may want a ruler, just to kind of get your sword straight. So what I kind of figured out to do, I'm eyeballing, I have my paper up against the edge of this scoreboard. I'm taking a ruler, so the ruler edge is against here. That way I can kind of keep wherever I mark for the holes here. And a little trick that I sort of realize is helpful is to ink the circle. I have one of these makeup sponges that has a point. You don't need this kind of makeup sponge to ink the edges. You can use your finger with some ink, anything. That way you can see a little bit better where the edges of your circle are. Since it's the same paper, now I can see my circle a little bit better. Anyway, back to making 2 marks for the sword channel. Now I try to put them a little bit far away from each other. When they're too close, it could tear. So I'm just, again, eyeballing a little bit, trying to keep them level. Oh, that's not too bad. You see that? I was going to use my little hole punch, but it got bent and wasn't working, so I have this giant thing to punch out these 2 little holes. You could just use an awl, you don't need any big contraptions. So I have it on the smallest setting, which is 1/8 on this. So pardon me as I punch these holes. Boop, boop. There we go. Done. That was quick. So here you go. That's what it looks like. The next thing I do is I get whatever I'm putting in, whether it's the metal sword, the plastic sword, your coffee stirrer. I just guide it through the first hole into the channel. I don't try and come out. It's just kind of teaching the paper what it's going to do. And then I have it go through both each way, just so it gets used to it and you find out whether it's going to tear or not. Hopefully not, if you're gentle. If you're a little bit concerned, what I did on this one, this kind of blobby shape is another piece of this cardstock that I glued over top so that it has more support. So this is a double layer here with the metal sword. And it feels pretty solid. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think it's going to tear. So here we go. I did it the wrong way. Oh, look at me. But, you know, it works. Put it in your journal like this. You have it sticking out. It's totally fine. I meant to do the holes this way, but I kind of like this too. Another little trick, if you want to ink the tiny holes, I run the blade over the ink, and again, just go around each hole individually. Ink it, ink it, ink it into the hole. Ink it, ink it, ink it. It's not super strong. I would probably do it a little bit more if I weren't on video, but I think you can see it pretty well that way. So there you go. A sword closure. So hope you enjoy it, have some fun, and get some swords into some journals. Yay! On guard!